Is Larry here? He's right outside? Rolling.
Yeah, he's here.
All right, we'll get back. We can't just like do it half-assed.
No.
But she makes $5 million a year, and these videos are who give.
We're talking about ASMR.
Oh. Yes, a little bit.
Tingly videos.
All right. I hope one of King's things is a hug.
What, you listen to my things?
Yes, Larry, of course. We're keeping up with you.
King's things, I could do it right here off the top.
That would be good. Can you do a couple?
You want a King's things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would be honored.
Let's see.
We would be honored.
Virgin Air is a terrific airline. I love Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes.
Opie and Anthony are terrific radio.
Yeah, they were.
Well,
Who's the girl?
Jim Norton.
I'm Nikki Glazer.
Nikki Glazer.
What do you do here, Nick?
I'm a comedian. I'm a guest today.
Oh, you're a guest too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do stand-up?
I do.
Yeah, I do a lot. In fact, I spoke yesterday in Vegas.
Yeah, how did it go, Larry?
2,000 people.
Wow.
Terrific. Yeah, a group called Pink Elephant.
What's that?
They're like a service group. They've got 50 offices all over the world, and
Right.
I thought it was like for gay Republicans or drunks.
That's what you would assume.
Yeah,
I would have went with the drunk thing.
But it was a fun group. You know, I just do a lot of comedy. I don't. When I speak, I never speak seriously. I've been 58 years in the business, and the biggest kick I get is making people laugh. So aside from doing all the interviews and now doing Aura TV, and
Right.
I do shows for the Dodgers. I thought I could retire, but I couldn't. But whenever I speak in person, I always just tell stories.
Yeah.
You couldn't retire, Larry? You just
what
you love it
happened?
too much.
I thought I could. You know,
Right.
I really thought I could.
You missed it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I missed it.
How long did you stay out for?
2010, a year and a half.
Really?
What'd you do?
That's a good question. Well, I spent a lot of time with my kids.
Yeah.
You know, I have 3 grown kids, but I have 3 grown children, and I have two little boys, 15 and 14. There's a big age difference between me and my wife.
Attaboy.
Yeah. When people see us together, I always say the same thing. You know, they look at me, they look at her, look at me, look at her. And I always say, if she dies, she dies. Hey, life goes on. But I do keep busy.
Yeah.
And so what's happening in the world of what's with the weather here?
Well, it's winter, Larry. Come on. We had more snow last year, if you need to know.
Yeah, but the world is changing. Cold weather climates are getting colder, and warm weather climates are getting warmer.
Right.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
They're talking about a drought for America. What are they calling it? Like a super drought or something? It's going to last like a very, very long time. We got.
We've had one in California for a long time.
Yeah, but now it's starting to talk like that's going to start pushing more east.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
You look out the window, you see a drought?
No.
I don't see a drought.
No.
When's this supposed to come?
I hope soon, because I hate the rain.
Sam, find the article. I look like an asshole in front of Larry King.
When he's not here.
Are you spreading a national drought?
There's going to be a national drought.
I don't think so, though. It's been crazy rain.
Will it affect Mexico and Canada?
It's going to affect everybody. Where is it? Help me out, Sam.
North American drought.
See, unprecedented North American drought is coming.
When?
Carbon pollution.
Carbon pollution.
When?
August.
This August. I knew when I polluted my carbon, this would happen.
No, it's 2095.
Yeah,
we don't care.
We got time to figure it out.
Yeah.
No, 2095 is when it's in full effect, but it's going to start around 2075.
Still.
Well, I don't think I'll be here.
No.
I don't think you will, I hope.
No, I don't think so. I'm not going to make 2075. That sucks.
I don't know. I might. I mean, I'm pretty. I was born in '68, so that would make me 107. That's doable.
You'll be dead.
That's doable.
Yeah, I disagree, Sam. It's very negative.
Do you still do the HGH?
Every day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something.
Go ahead.
81.
No.
I started taking HGH about 18 years ago. I don't get the injections. I just take. I don't know why it's banned, by the way. I have no idea why it's not.
Because guys hit 700-foot home runs.
No, HGH is not that kind of steroid. HGH helps.
Then why are the athletes taking it
It
then?
makes you recover from injury faster. So I don't know why that's Bayer aspirin takes a headache away.
Sure.
So why can't Bayer aspirin be banned? I don't understand. Anyway, I've taken HGH for 18 years. I take 2 pills in the morning and 2 pills at night, and I have type 2 diabetes. And my diabetes doctor says that the only thing she can attribute the fact that I have amazing sugar counts and everything is HGH.
Wow.
What is it? What are the negatives? Because does it like?
I don't have any side effects.
What are some of the alleged side effects?
I never heard any.
I was just asking about HGH. Like, should I take it? Because it's supposed to be.
I don't think there's any side effects.
We'll
It's
get
a
that-
human growth. It's in you already. It's just
Right.
a human growth hormone.
How does it?
It doesn't make me feel any better. I just feel, for example,
Does it help you down there a little bit?
No, not better erections or anything.
no.
That's a question.
I had prostate cancer.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Way to go.
I beat that with radiation.
Right.
But you pay a price.
Yeah.
Okay.
However,
There's other ways around that.
yeah, I'd rather live.
Hey, I got to ask you a serious question.
Sure.
This Brian Williams thing, where are you at with it?
Well, I'll tell you. First, I feel terrible because I like him so much. Mm-hmm. And I like his daughter a lot. She's very talented. Mm-hmm. And I was just talking about that at breakfast this morning. In fact, he emceed when I got my Lifetime Achievement from the Emmys. He emceed. He was terrific to me, and he was very nice. There's something must have happened in childhood or something. Why does he need self-aggrandizement? Mm-hmm. Why did he need to invent anything?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think this kind of problem that he must have with exaggeration must have happened early.
But
Because this ain't the only thing.
Right.
The Navy
Yeah.
SEALs came out.
Right.
The Katrina. The problem, I think, and I like him personally a lot, is I don't think he can return
no.
to news because, let's say it's his Brian Williams is back tonight, right? Mm-hmm. And the first story is a helicopter shot down in Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. You're going to laugh.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a politician was caught in a lie,
Right.
and he has to interview the liar.
Right. So he's done.
I think he's
Wow,
done.
you're right.
Larry
Yeah.
King's saying it here. He's done.
Well, I hope not. But first, if you bring him back, as soon as you bring him back, the story's back,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if it goes away, it won't go away once you bring it back.
What do you think they're thinking for laying him off for 6 months or kicking him out for 6 months? Is that them trying to figure out what to do or to
Yeah,
see who?
I think it's just a way. They got a 5-year contract at $10 million. I'm sure they're going to try to figure out, like the Yankees are going to figure out what to do with A-Rod. They're going to have to figure out, what do we do with this? This gives them a 6 month, they not paying them. 6 months to see if the other guy works.
Right. Lester's not going to work.
Why?
No, it's kind of boring. Sorry, Larry. Do you know Lester?
You know Lester? I
don't know.
I think I met him
I've
once.
seen him on TV. And I don't know. Brian Williams absolutely had a personality. It seems like they go with some of these guys that are a little more entertaining or have a bit of a personality. He's a safe bet. That's why I think NBC put him in there.
I think they want him to succeed.
You think?
You'd love to have a black anchor.
Right. Really?
What, you got something against that?
Yeah, well, how come you don't
No,
black
I-
anchors? I mean,
No, I'm asking
I
you to
watch
answer
black
that.
people on the news. He won't. I don't mind it.
I don't see color, Larry. He just seems like he's a good broadcaster. How about that? Why does it matter that he's black?
I didn't say it mattered. It's just the inflection in your tone.
Ooh, that's true.
But you said that they would love to have a black anchor.
Larry would love a black anchor, he said.
I think America, we should have a black anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, don't you think? I think we
Well,
should.
that would be the story too. I mean, have we had a black anchor?
We did when they had the 3 anchors. When ABC had the 3 anchors, they had the guy Max Robinson.
I don't
who
know
anchored.
the name.
You guys are too young for that.
I think so. What years?
Peter Jennings, McGee, and Max Robinson was in Chicago.
Wow.
The
Okay.
idea with 3 anchors worked. Peter Jennings in London,
Right.
Frank McGee
Right.
Is it Frank Mickey?
Oh.
In New York, and Max Robinson.
All for the same network.
ABC.
Oh, okay.
Sam, put that up. Maybe if we saw his face, I would know him. Yeah.
Did you know Cronkite? Did you ever meet Walter Cronkite?
Meet him. I got the first Walter Cronkite Award presented by him. He appeared on my show at least 10 times.
Oh, okay.
He was a hell of a guy.
Right.
See, we don't have that anymore. We got too many channels. There's no Walter Cronkite.
No, it's
There's
impossible.
There's no Walter Winchell. There's no one person that can change anything.
Is that good or bad, do you think?
Well, the good part is you don't like to see one power centered that way. The bad part is when you have 500 channels, then you got a race to get it on, and getting it on is more important than getting it right.
Right.
And I'm not sure. You know, I miss the old days. I miss the Cronkites, the Edward R. Murrows.
Did Cronkite really change the tone of Vietnam when he said that the war?
Sure did.
He did.
Never forget that. He came back and said, "This ain't working,"
Right.
and it changed America.
Yes, it did.
It did. I remember when I changed. That had effect on me when Cronkite changed. You know, you think of that war. That's all those lives. For
Right.
what? In fact, my dermatologist every year he vacations in Vietnam, and he fought in Vietnam,
Strange.
and he thinks it's the best vacation place in the world.
Everyone says that. It's cheap.
Beaches are incredible. The
Right.
food is fantastic.
They don't hate Americans?
They're wonderful.
They-
He said they're wonderful.
They love Americans now, bringing a lot of money into the country.
okay.
And it's a cheap vacation, too. Your money goes a long way. I've heard it over and over again. Everyone's cool over there now, which is
it's,
strange.
You know, it's French influence, beautiful
Yeah.
food. And I hear the beaches are incredible.
Right.
That's sad.
What do you think
But
about? What do you think
Iraq
about?
was sad.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you couldn't.
What do you
Show.
What do you think about ISIS and what's happening with all that? Like, what is?
Oh, there are a lot of laughs, aren't there?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're actually big fans of mine. But I mean, in general, what are we going to do about them?
I don't know. You know, it's easy to criticize an administration, but I try to put myself in somebody's shoes. So let's put yourself in Obama's shoes. You want to put boots on the ground? You've come through wars in which Americans have died in Iraq. That was sad. All of them may have died in vain. In fact, if we had not gone into Iraq, the world would be a better place.
That's.
Saddam Hussein was a big enemy of Iran.
But we talked about it on our show. He knew how to keep everyone under
That's right.
control.
In other words,
it's a very complicated
Keep the
region
bad
of the
guys,
world.
keep the bad guys close.
Right.
And he was not an enemy of America.
Right.
A lot of people in America still think that he bombed 9/11,
Jesus.
which had nothing to do with it.
Right.
But George Bush, that was a terrible mistake, and we're still not recovered. So what do you do what do you do about ISIS? Would America go for boots on the ground? You think?
I don't know. The ISIS, everyone hates them so much. I just think let everyone else take care of them. But I don't know. We might.
We're going to lose a lot of guys if we do that.
How many people? Well, how many guys are in ISIS?
It's getting.
It grows every day.
Yeah, it's getting strange now. You don't really know, and it's spreading out now.
Yeah, it's not a country.
Right.
It's a strange and it's a different world. You know, it's the problems are immense, and you can't. I'm a fan of Israel, but Netanyahu shouldn't be coming here. He's in the middle of an election, right? Mm-hmm. And we're negotiating with Iran to try to get peace, and he's coming over to say, "Don't negotiate."
Right.
I think that's a mistake.
It's a very.
But what do I know? I'm here. I'm sitting
mean,
here.
what do
There's
you-
Max Robinson.
What do you mean? What do you know, Larry? You've been around.
I'm on Opie and Anthony. This is my career.
You've lived an amazing life and continue to do so.
Yeah,
sir.
I tell you the truth, guys. I pinch myself every day.
How many? Is it true you've interviewed 60,000 people?
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
what
that number this morning.
That's what they estimate because if it's 58 years, and a lot of them were radio and on television. Wow, yeah, I must be 60,000.
So that would be 1,000
A year.
interviews a year. That seems
No.
No?
365 days. A lot of times I work a lot of Saturdays.
Right.
A lot of times panel shows where I'd have 4 guests
Oh,
on.
sure.
Yeah. I think that's about right. I love interviewing people. It fascinates me to learn about people. I always wonder about why people do what they do.
Right.
And I've been asking why all my life.
If you're going to ask a tough question, if you have somebody who's on the hot seat for something and you got to really go after them, do you go right into that, or do you try to relax them a little bit, or will you
try to
open?
relax them.
You won't open hard.
And I'll give you an example. The stupidest question is to go right to the. Let's say I'm interviewing Osama bin Laden, right, the hated man in the world. The worst first question would be, why did you bomb America on 9/11? That's defensive. The best question might be, why did you leave one of the richest families in Saudi Arabia? Right? Why? Now, I don't know the answer to that.
Right.
So I'll be interested in hearing what he says. You left one of the richest to live in caves. Where does your anger come from?
He probably had a rough upbringing, I would assume.
Well,
No, he
see,
came
but I
from
don't-
privilege.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I don't.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you.
The secret of my interviewing style was I assumed nothing.
Shit, I fucked it up.
No. You don't have to be me.
I know, but
I don't. I never had an agenda.
I think I fucked it up. Did I fuck it up, Sam?
I mean, you're not Larry King.
I am not trying to say I'm Larry King, but he just called me out for being
You-
a horrible,
you
fucked
a
that last
horrible
thing up.
interview.
You know what's crazy
Yeah.
to me?
Yes, sir.
I got into broadcasting in 1957.
Oh, the cursing. You're going to say it, right?
What?
The fucks?
Why are you yelling at
Yeah,
Larry?
I still have trouble. I mean, I'm dean of the Friars Club. I've heard the word,
Yes.
and I'll use it in telling jokes. Probably, I don't think I've ever used it in a speech. And it's the greatest word in the English language. There's no word better.
Yeah.
But it still is weird to hear it in because I was raised in that culture.
Right.
I remember Jackie Gleason told me he went to London and he was shaving and the television was on and he heard that word and he dropped the razor and everything. He couldn't believe it that he'd hear that word. Lenny Bruce got arrested for it, and now it's on the radio.
He got arrested for a cocksucker.
Cocksucker, yeah.
Yeah,
He said cocksucker. I got to go back to Gleason because you can't just say that. Where was the F word on TV that he heard it back then?
in London.
Oh, in London, you said that.
It
Okay,
was
so
in
they
London. So you
were
gotta
freer.
listen. See, that's
I'm
one of the
trying
secrets
to listen,
of
but I'm like,
interview.
holy shit, Larry King is 10 feet away from me. You're
Fucked up
a
again.
broadcasting
But he's
legend.
even closer to me, and I heard it.
You did hear it?
Yes, that's right.
I apologize.
How did Opie and Anthony start? See, that's my curiosity.
More interesting, how did they end?
Yeah, it's we're on hiatus right now, Larry. I don't know if you
Anthony
know
is
that.
not here.
You mean we're not on?
We are, but
We're
I'm Jim.
on.
I'm not Anthony. I'm Jim.
Yeah,
Anthony's gone.
the Opie and Anthony show's on a bit of hiatus
Wait a minute,
after
who am
20
I here
years.
Opie, you hear it? That's Opie. I'm Jim. That's Nikki.
Yeah.
And that's Sam.
You know how you said I should listen? You should read. I mean,
That's a good
there's-
point, Larry.
There's a name missing
Wait a minute.
on the wall.
Hold it.
Yes, Larry.
Hold it. Stop. Wait, as Mel Brooks would say, whoops, hold it. Stop.
Okay, all right.
It's just Opie.
Yeah.
Well,
And Jim.
And Jim.
But why isn't your name up on the wall?
Because I didn't want to. Anthony is my friend, and I felt that I didn't want to jump in Anthony's grave and call and like, hey, now I got it. So I'm just here on Opie's show, like I was here on Opie and Anthony's show.
What happened to Anthony?
Well,
Come on, give me the straight story. You used the F word. Tell me what happened to Anthony.
Yes, as well as Anthony was out one night and he got he was assaulted in Times Square. He was taking photos and he had got into it with a black woman and she punched him in the face and he didn't hit her back, but he went home and I guess he thawed out after a while and he went on Twitter and blasted her on Twitter and said some perhaps racially insensitive things. And the company didn't do anything at first. They were just letting it ride. But you know how the press runs with it and they always take the wrong angle. So instead of focusing on his nonviolent reaction, the dog shit press focuses on the fact that a shock jock said naughty things.
Right.
And then the company, the press is calling for a reaction. And then the Washington Post and the New York Times are calling for a reaction. And they go, well, they're not reacting. So I guess they agree with what he's, And so the company panicked and fired him.
and it wasn't on the
I
show.
have a question. I live in L.A.
Yes.
How did I miss this? I never read a word about
Yeah,
this.
it was in all the papers. I mean, the Washington Post, the woman at the Washington Post did a revolting piece on it, completely biased and inaccurate, and just crap.
They assumed a lot. He made
So
the front page of the
what's-
paper, Larry.
What's Anthony doing now?
He's doing a show from his house.
Yeah, he has his own show called the Anthony Cumia Show, and he's like a professional. He's a better studio than we do in his house.
And
It's a podcast.
But he has video and everything else going on.
No, it's not a podcast. It does podcast, but it's a live, actual.
Who carries it?
He has his own
Server and
Ustream
all
and his
that,
own
yeah.
website and everything.
Yeah.
He's doing it himself.
Does he have guests and everything?
Oh yeah,
He would love to have you, Larry.
yeah. He'd send a car for you and everything.
You want to go on his show?
I'll do a show. Where does he live?
On
He
Long
lives on Long
Island?
Island. It's an easy ride out. It's about 30 minutes, but he sends.
So
a good
you guys keep in touch with him?
Yes.
So how does management feel? Do you contribute, by the way?
Well,
pointing at me.
This is their thing. I don't really.
Are you a prop?
No, she's very funny. She's
I'm-
been killing it this morning for us.
Okay, but I want to ask you,
Yes, Larry.
does management get angry at you for defending Anthony?
No, they've been kind of cool about that part of it. Yeah.
They know they have to be because what do we?
Yeah, they've not told us to shut up or any of that stuff.
Anthony see, I'm so curious, but
Yeah.
was the tweets bad?
Well, it depends who you ask, Larry.
They were.
They're a
I
little
would
rough.
say a couple of them he
But I
probably
don't
should have reworded, and I think he says that too. He's like, "Yeah, I should have this and that." Like, but were
why-
they worth firing? No.
Why don't you show Larry one of the tweets?
All right.
I'll put it back on you, and then you can decide.
This woman punched him in the face multiple times.
Well, why did she punch him?
Because he was out taking pictures late. Anthony had a camera, which he was not being creepy with. He literally, he had a photography obsession after a while. So he's out taking these pictures, and there was a black woman walking away.
Daytime?
No,
Late.
at night, 3 in
Really
the morning.
late.
So she may have been drunk, or she may have thought he was being creepy. But he said she walked back, and she came back, and she was like, "You white motherfucker!" And they got into it, and she punched him. And he, Anthony's always armed. He's an NRA member, and but he didn't strike her back. He was just very, very angry on Twitter.
So then he went home and got very angry on Twitter. You want to read this one, Larry?
Yeah, this.
No, because there's words I won't say on the air.
Well, there might-
but you can say them. I don't care.
He said.
No, it just runs against my little grain. Hey, I'm not a prude.
No.
I don't think
say
you're
the
a prude.
word in privately, and then maybe that's
What, the
hypocritical.
N-word?
Yeah.
This all one?
No, I don't say that. I
That the
don't.
one first? Is that the first tweet?
All right, Larry. This is what. Why don't you just you can read it to yourself and you decide.
Savage, violent animal, think prey on white people. Easy targets. This has no color. Yeah.
But there was a few that followed it up. He was just angry. I mean, again,
He got very mad.
Sometimes after a physical altercation, you thaw out after a while. Like an hour later, you're like, it wears off, and then the rage comes out.
Well, let me ask Larry this: if someone does you wrong, right? In your head, aren't you thinking the worst thing possible, no matter what? It doesn't mean you're going to vocalize it or run on your show
sure.
and go nuts. But
yeah, of course you.
but we all go to that dark, really bad place when someone pisses us off, right?
Yeah, but there's a professional side of it too, and he is a professional broadcaster, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But this wasn't on the air.
No, but today everything's on the air. Twitter is on the air. I have 2,800,000 followers, and I tweet a lot. I tweet a lot. I give opinions, but I don't curse.
Right.
On the tweet, I'm just raised in, I guess, a different culture.
Yeah.
But when the Times and the Post printed the story, did they print those words?
Well, it made the
They
rounds.
beeped some out.
It made the rounds, Larry.
They beep some out. And it doesn't look as good in print, even though he put it in print. But also, Anthony is not hired he's a guy who would go on certain rants, and everyone knew kind of where he stood. And he's, I hate to say shock jock, but he's Anthony of the Opie and Anthony show. So you don't expect him to never give an angry
Did
opinion.
Howard comment on this?
Yeah. He should. He said we all should have left with Anthony.
Do you feel that way?
No.
Because you need to make a living.
Well, I like what I do.
And
so-
Anthony didn't expect you to.
No, he did not.
No.
But for some reason, people like to ignore that part of this whole story. Ant gave his blessing as far as me and Jimmy moving, forward, and then down the road we figure it out. Larry, who knows? We did 20 years together.
All right, well, I'm ticked at one thing.
Oh no,
I think Jim should be up on the board.
he could be on the board tomorrow.
Why isn't it Opie and Jim?
Thank you, Larry. We call it that just because that's who we are, because that was my request. Not for any bad reasons, but to me, it's Opie and Anthony, and I'm very loyal, and I'm here with Opie, and I'm happy to be here, but I'm on Opie's show or I'm on Anthony's show. I won't step in. I can't replace him.
I'll give you a Sharpie. You can put it right on the wall right now.
Yeah, Larry, go up there and
How
write it.
great would that be? Go ahead, Larry.
Opie, do you guest on Anthony's show?
Not yet. I have not.
Wow. Wow. Why not?
No real reason. I just, when the time's right, I will.
You're comping out.
No, I'm not copping out, I swear.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah, you are. No, I'm not. Long Island's a short ride, he said.
Yeah, it is. I'll get there.
Jim, have you been on the show?
A few times.
I have, yeah.
Jim's not cupping out. Are you a little embarrassed about it? Oh.
No.
What does your doctor say?
I think, if you need to know, I think we just kind of needed to take a break. There was a lot going on there. It wasn't just the incident. We just kind of needed a break.
How long has Anthony been gone?
7, 8 months?
Since July 2nd, this happened.
Yeah, about 8 months almost.
Wow, it's about time.
I'm starting to think that, yeah. It was a long 20 years, Larry. We just kind of needed to take a break.
Would Sirius let Anthony come in as a guest here?
I believe so, yeah.
Why don't you do that? Your ratings would go through the roof.
Well, yeah.
Anthony's coming back for a day. Jim's hanging here.
Right.
What are you kidding? It's amazing. It's duck soup. This is radio.
Are you getting me back for the hard-on question?
No, I'm saying that could work.
Right.
You bring him back.
I think that'll happen. I think he'll come back. We'll talk. We'll have a good time. I'll go on his show. We tweeted at each other a couple days ago. That was fun.
I tell you, it's a different world to me.
Larry, we did a show together for 20 years, so it's kind of it's nice to take a little break. That's all.
Where'd you guys start?
Long Island, BAB. It was because of OJ murdering 2 people that we got together. Isn't that strange how that works?
How did that happen?
Well, the OJ thing happened, and then I was doing my own show, and I started asking for song parodies about the case because you had all those crazy characters and stuff, and Anthony just happened to have a song already. He didn't write it for the show, that's for sure.
And what they did was actually more offensive than what O.J. Simpson did.
Was that bad?
It was terrible.
So his song was called "Gonna Electric Shock OJ," done to Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, and then his song was by far the best one I got. I got so many, by the way. And then I invited him in with his brother to perform it live, and we just hit it off. And pretty much brought him on board that day.
Well, and how did Jim come into the picture?
Well,
I was touring with Dice.
Yes.
Andrew Dice Clay. I was his opening act. And
Well, you do stand-up, too.
I do, yeah. I've been doing it for 25 years. That's really humiliating. But but I was touring with Dice, and I wound up going into Dice would always talk about me like, "Hey, my opener."
Yeah.
So I was brought on to Opie and Anthony, and we all got along very well. Mm-hmm. And I would come in periodically, and I was arrested for the show. I spent the night in jail doing a radio stunt. And after
What did you do?
We didn't do it. I was on a bus that got pulled over with a bunch of naked girls.
well, it's called the Voyeur Bus. It was a bus that had naked women. Larry, I know. Yeah, we come from a different time, I guess.
But it wasn't our bus.
It wasn't our bus.
We was there.
We liked their concept and said maybe we could do something with this. So we broadcast live from the Voyeur Bus. It was the top half of the bus was all glass, and you had naked women in the bus, making it very legal to see nude women as they're just driving around Manhattan. And Jimmy was on the bus when we might have been on the Clinton route. He was in town, and they shut down the road, and we might have made a mistake and got on that shutdown.
You were arrested, too?
No,
Him and Anthony were smart. They stayed here while Dumb Jim went out, and Lewis Black was on the bus. I spent the night in a cell with Lewis Black.
Lewis Black went to jail?
Yes, he did with me.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's a complete
for
criminal.
a while, too. Like 16 hours or
He
something
ran
like
the
that?
place.
And what was the crime?
They couldn't figure out a crime, but Giuliani had to talk about it at a press conference, and he called us stupid.
Here's what they charged us with. They couldn't think of what to charge us with. Promoting the lewdness of a body. It was, and the judge was annoyed at the prosecutor, and he just threw it out, and he said, "You're wasting everyone's time." But it was just, they put us through the system just to break balls a little, because we had been doing something that they thought was kind of stupid. So it was 27 hours of inconvenience.
And one of your fellow CNN people got us in trouble.
Who?
Mose. Help me out, Larry.
Mose?
A woman, Mosley or Mose.
You know her. She does all those human interest stories.
Oh, yeah, Carol. Mose. Yeah, not Carol.
Jeannie Mose.
Jeannie Mose.
She's funny.
Yeah, but she jumped on the bus, and we're thinking, oh, this would be great for everybody. And then she got out near City Hall and ran in to tell Giuliani what's going on in his city.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then
I noticed something very unusual that in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Opie evades everything.
In what way? What else do you need to know, Larry?
Anthony goes off on a rant, you keep your job.
Right.
They get on the bus, you don't get on the bus.
No.
Now, Opie, you got it going pretty good. I figured you out, Opie.
I'm smart.
You're smart.
Yes. And very good looking.
And you
intelligent.
And you're maybe all those things, but you also dance the dance.
You have to dance the dance,
you
Larry.
You get out of the way. In other words, you're the kind of guy who would say, "Hey, Jim, go do that."
Well,
Jim, that would be fun. Wouldn't you try it, Jim? You ever think about that, Jim?
You're right.
Jim,
He hasn't been
listen
on
to him.
Anthony's show. Hasn't been on Anthony's
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not on the wall.
Not on the wall.
Not on the wall.
But I did tell Anthony, if you need to know,
What'd you tell him?
I said we need to get a beer or dinner and talk before I go on the show. Is that bad, Larry?
Why do you need to get a beer or dinner before you go on the
Because
show?
we had a long relationship that had plenty of ups and downs, sir.
Oh, you did have a lot of them.
I'm trying to tell you that. Yes, 20 years,
What was the biggest?
and we grew. We grew
I
in
get
different
it, okay.
directions.
What was the biggest down?
The biggest down? Jeez. Nothing. Jimmy, help me out on this one.
I'm going to guess it's when their sexual relationship went awry. It might have been.
That would do it.
Yeah. They were fighting for top position. I don't. It's hard to say. I think that what happens with two personalities is and this is with any two marriage, neither personality understands exactly what they're doing to annoy the other personality, and I think that eventually when things get to a boiling point, both people know the other guy has done something,
Right.
and they know intellectually that they've done something, but it's hard to connect with what have I done to make this situation. That's part of human nature, and I think that was a big part.
And I certainly don't want to skate in front of Larry King. The biggest down probably was that we lost our friendship a long time ago.
So you worked
We were
together
really-
without being friends.
Yeah. Well, he's my friend, but non-practicing. I don't hate the guy.
But you didn't socialize.
No, that went away a long time ago.
So
and
when
that
the
was
show ended, you went your way, his went his.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything outside the show when
Nothing.
it ended.
Absolutely
no
nothing.
Did
relationship.
that bitterness
Nothing.
come across on the air?
At times, yeah. We had it out a few times, and then if you could, listen really closely, you could tell the days we couldn't stand each other.
In all honesty, I didn't notice it a lot though. Like they were really good at covering. Cause there were times where I would find out they were mad at each other, and I'm here every day, and I didn't even notice it.
Yeah. But the mics went on. We had the chemistry still. It was the strangest thing. But I lost my friend a long time ago.
What if you were going
And,
down
and I'm not, because these assholes out there will spin it. I'm not blaming him. We changed as people. I can't put my finger on an incident that made me stop being friends with him. It just happened.
Did any one of you ever walk off?
Yeah, it was mostly it was mostly me. Usually, I would get frustrated, walk off.
Really?
Yep.
So Opie took a risk.
What do you mean? Oh, you helping me out finally,
Oh,
Larry?
yeah, management might have got mad at you.
Oh yeah, I could. I put myself in some bad situations by walking off. Absolutely, and then I would have to go and talk to them and.
what
say-
kind of stuff would make you walk off?
Just out of frustration, because we weren't communicating.
Notice how.
That's why Jimmy started on the show a long time ago, because we were about to sign a huge syndicated deal for a lot of money, Larry. And I told my agent, I think I got to leave. It was like 1999, 2000. And he's like, you're crazy. You know how much money they're about to, put on the table. And we were working with Jimmy. And I'm not downplaying his talent. He deserved to be on the show, but we weren't really looking for a third guy at that point. And then I figured that maybe me and Anthony, I could talk for him as well, could talk through Jimmy to keep the show going.
And being that there was a lot of money at stake, they knew they could bring me on for very little of it.
That's cute. Now you notice I want to give you a lesson on talent.
Yes.
We, through my unique ability, have turned this show today into an examination of Opie, Anthony, and Jim.
I'm
Notice
bowing
the
to
way
you.
I subtly went into that.
Well, we got someone saying I'm a liar though, Larry. You want to
Anthony, you're on the phone.
Let's go to John in New York. Go ahead, John.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey.
I don't actually believe the story is all that true.
What part of it?
Well, let's just say that Anthony was fired for Facebooking or whatever it was,
Tweeting.
calling this girl an animal. Is that correct?
Tweeting, yeah.
Tweeting some things that management had a problem with. Yes.
Okay, but the fact of the matter is that what separates man from animal is ability to reason. So she didn't reason. He had every right to call her an animal.
But why? What part of the story here isn't true? We're not saying management was right. We're just saying what they did.
Right. Well, they didn't defend him the way they should have. He didn't do anything wrong.
Well, John, did he come up to her and start taking pictures without?
No, she was walking away.
No, yeah, he was taking photos of other things, and she assumed he was taking pictures of her and attacked him, as far as I know.
I see.
He took pictures because I think she heard the click of the camera and assumed something shady.
Right.
But she came back. He has pictures of her face when she's coming back, but by then he knew there was a confrontation happening.
Because, I understand Alec Baldwin.
Right.
Why he gets ticked.
Well, he gets harassed all the time.
Yeah. And so I can see someone being angered at someone taking a picture of them without saying.
Right.
Yeah,
But she assaulted him. Why wasn't she arrested?
Well, he didn't report it. You're
Well,
right.
he
You're
should
right.
have. I mean, that's his job.
Yes, but where's the
He's
part
given
that's
up
not
his-
true, though? No one's lying, sir.
Right. What
Well,
are we lying about? Because that's
I don't think that you're telling the truth, Opie. I think there's a lot more to the story than that we know about.
the lot more to the story is that we had a long relationship with a lot of ups and downs that certainly played into
How did I get involved
moving
in this?
forward.
How did I came here as an innocent little man?
Because
to
you're
be a guest for
you're a
little while?
naturally inquisitive and great
Correct.
interviewer.
So I turned this thing around.
You
didn't I?
certainly
Yeah.
did. You're very smooth and nice when you ask the questions. and
Right.
You're great.
So tune in here tomorrow for the Larry Show.
Exactly. Opie and Larry.
Opie and Larry.
Well, no, there you go. The wall has been changed.
Thank you.
There it is. And Jimmy.
Right. I mean,
Put it over there, too.
Attaboy, Larry. Thank you.
Larry, the show could have easily broke up way before it did. 20 years is a nice run.
Sure is.
I certainly, could see a possibility of it reuniting someday. But it was just time to kind of move on for a
That
little
would be
while.
nice. Opie and Anthony
fine.
reunion.
Right. And as far as I think if there were other points in our career where this thing happened with Ant, I probably would have left right away. Yes, but things became very different near the end too. And that's certainly played into it. You're right.
Right, okay, that's okay.
We were getting fired all the time, Larry, and it was never a question whether the other guy should go or not. We always went together. But in this case, that's why I think people are a little confused because I didn't go right away. But that answer lies within a very long relationship we had, and I can't speak for him, but I feel like I can. I think
Do you think he's listening now?
I'm sure it'll get back to him.
No,
sure.
he'll listen later. I don't think Anthony is up at this hour if he doesn't have to be.
Right.
He's not going to get up in the morning.
How's management treating you here?
Pretty good, yeah. Because
They've acknowledged me when I've been right in front of them and I've waved and yelled, hi. Otherwise, they don't.
Who runs the place now?
I don't know.
Jim Meyer is the
Jim
president,
Meyer, right.
and Scott Greenstein is the
Yeah.
is Jim Meyer's the CEO, and Scott Greenstein's the day-to-day
so
guy.
Opie,
Yes.
Hold on, sir.
Yes, John.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that's fine. I just thought that there was more to the story, and there is, and it'll probably come out, but I knew it wasn't just that one incident. That's all, not really attacking.
I think that's as honest as I could be. If it happened years ago, I probably would have left right away. But it was,
okay.
I think we were both sort of looking for different things and had frustrations towards each
In
other.
other words, time had come.
I think
It
I
is
think
what
20
it
years
is.
is a great run. Anthony was building a studio in his basement. I think he was thinking, there's other things I want to be doing.
Right. Okay. Well, I think Larry's right. He should come back for one day. That would be great.
Oh, that'd be easy.
Yeah,
I think we'll get that done.
Thanks for calling, John.
All right, guys. All right. Take care.
All right, John. Let me say
How
hi.
much more do I have here? Because I got to go do Jenny McCarthy. I don't mean to sound like
Yeah, no, come on. You're getting to the bottom of
You
things here.
started this, Larry.
You're not going to get anything done on Jenny's show. Trust me. This is where you're.
No, I got to do that because I got other things to do.
All right,
All right, but we need you, Larry.
Let me take one more call. Bob in Mississippi. Bob.
Yeah, I hope. Man, your story's changing, buddy. When this all came out, when Anthony was leaving the show,
Right.
you acted, and Jenny too, like you were all, heartbroken and crestfallen, and would have done anything you possibly could have done to keep him around. And now the truth is coming out that this was kind of your way to get rid of him. I mean,
Oh God, it wasn't my way of getting rid of him, and of
you
course,
just said that the relationship played into it.
well, it played into the fact that I didn't just leave with him. Yes, but I was heartbroken. It was weird how it ended that way.
Hey, Mississippi, he didn't get him fired.
Right. Had nothing to do with Ant getting fired. If that's what you're trying to say.
Oh, you know that you didn't have to leave to make your point. All you had to do was put your weight behind this, and
Wow,
would still be there.
That's not actually not
In
true.
other words, he's saying if you had said he
No,
goes, I go,
we didn't
you
have-
would have think they sent you.
We didn't have weight. We didn't have weight, sir.
They would have said, "Take care."
They absolutely would have said bye.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
I find
They
that
were
hard-
not. They were fucking not happy. I got an earful of shit. Jimmy, I'm not sure if you
I
officially
only
got.
talked to Scott once.
I got an earful of shit, yelling and screaming and such, and then I'm in a position. Well, what the fuck is next here? Because I knew I wouldn't mind going and doing something else.
Jackie Gleason once said.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Jackie Gleason once said, "If you think you have clout, you have clout. If you think you don't have clout,
Yeah.
even if you have clout, you don't have clout.
We have a little
So
clout.
it's all in perception."
We have clout now because we were able to reinvent ourselves, me and Jimmy, and keep this thing going. And they're pretty happy with the results so far, Larry.
So you could go in there and say, "I want Anthony back."
I don't know.
What do you mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
You have
That's
clout.
the answer. Oh, just like that. Because I have clout, then I could do that.
That's what clout is.
All right. I got clout then, I guess.
Don't look at me. I'm a cloutless zilch.
Wow, Larry. My
Well, I
God.
caused a little storm this morning, didn't I?
No, you're great.
No, this is what we
You're
want.
awesome.
Now I'm going to go
you'll-
over and break up Jenny's marriage.
Please do. Please send her this way too.
You'll get the people to talk. You got the people to talking today.
That's my role in life.
Yeah.
You're a great guy, Opie and Jimmy. Nice
you, Larry.
meeting you.
You too. I actually I did something with you before. I touched your face for a comedy show that I did. Do you remember two girls coming into your studio like a year and a half ago, and we just touched your face? We did your makeup, and then we just touched you a bunch. It was really weird.
Why wouldn't you remember her touching your face? She's
Larry
beautiful.
King. Everyone wants to
Oh,
touch him.
please.
Happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
I go down the street, and especially late at night if I'm taking pictures.
Larry, I've seen you walk around New York many times, and
I'm a
I've
regular
never bothered you.
You could have, Opie.
I followed you once, though, for a block. I was wondering where you were going. That's a true story.
Yeah.
It was near the Apple Store on Fifth Avenue.
You went into a bookstore with X's on the front.
And then,
By the way-
and then I knew it was a little creepy, and I turned around and said, "What are you doing? That's stupid." And I, left
walked
you
by
alone.
when that store opened. I knew Steve Jobs.
Right.
And had interviewed him when he started Apple.
Yeah.
But I was walking by that store, and the guy told me, "Hey, Larry, come on over here." And they gave me the key and told me to throw it away.
Wow.
And that store never closes.
No, it doesn't.
It's an amazing place.
And that's all because of you? You told them to stay open?
No, I think they had planned it. But every time I look in there, I tell you what, I got to go. But I walked in. My wife goes to the Apple store in Beverly Hills, and there's always something wrong with one of the phones. That store is always packed. There must be a reason why it's always packed. They're not always buying things.
Yeah.
They're repairing things. Aha. And I always feel out of place there. I have a flip phone. See my phone?
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because it's a phone.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cool stuff you could be.
See this? I open it.
Yeah, but what about? I know you're a big baseball guy. You know what kind of stuff you could be checking out on your phone?
I ask my kids, what's the score? I go to all the Dodger games.
Right.
I always know the scores. I know what's happening. I don't need a prop to
Right.
help me with what's happening.
I got
That's a
one-
prop. And then you become a victim of it. And I never want to be. I was a victim of cigarette smoke,
Right.
which led to a heart attack. And I notice people with cell phones, with these iPhones. I go to dinner with people with iPhones. They don't talk. They don't. They're texting all the time. My kids don't speak.
Right.
They text.
Yeah. That's the world we live in now.
I don't
but they're
like-
enjoying
I
themselves
don't
by
like
doing that.
world. Are they?
I think so.
I think
Yeah.
they're victims.
How'd you quit smoking?
Had a heart attack. Just quit that day.
How many years had you smoked?
From age 17 to age 53.
Wow.
Do you have any damage in the lungs?
No, I didn't have it bad. I had a heart attack, and then I had quintuple bypass surgery right here in New York
Remember all that?
in December of 87. and-
87 that was?
Yeah, never smoked again.
28 years ago. That's great.
Thank you, guys.
Larry
break.
King,
Thank
you're
you.
the
Nice
best.
meeting you, dear. Thanks
yeah.
for touching my face.
Yes,
nice
of
seeing
course.
you.
Yes.
Opie and Jimmy.
It's on the
Yes.
wall, see?
And that's the new name of this show.
All right. Thank you, Larry
Thank you,
King.
guys.
Always a pleasure.
My pleasure.